Afternoon, good evening, depending on when and where you're viewing this. Guys, ladies and gentlemen, it is happening. It is happening. Everything we've been talking about on this channel is coming to fruition. Everything we've been talking about on this channel is unfolding in a manner more perfect than I couldn't even imagine. And if you appreciate that, give me a like, hit that subscribe button, do me a favor, because we are going to kill it on this channel. We're already killing it on this channel. So let's talk about why I'm saying that. Since day one on this channel, about 11 weeks ago when I started, I've been saying any new money that you put into Cardano, ADA, will outperform Ethereum and Bitcoin by the end of the year, a year from now, and 5 years from now, right? Been saying that almost daily on this channel. And I also said any new money put into Ethereum will outperform Bitcoin by those same time frames. Every day I've been saying that. And that's my hypothesis, but I'm not just putting out a hypothesis. I'm collecting data. We're collecting data on this channel and on my Twitter. Follow me on Twitter at crypto_liberal. Very important. We collect the data and we are proving that hypothesis. We are proving it daily. And it is being proven, right? Maybe I'll be wrong in the end, but it's working out exactly like I've been saying it's going to work out. So if you appreciate that, give me a like, give me a subscribe. So how do we prove it? Every week, for 10 weeks we've been doing it, every week we put $100 into those 3 coins. And so we put $1,000 in, right? Every week we dollar cost average $100 in each of them. We're up to $1,000 because we've been doing it for 10 weeks. Well, how's that portfolio looking? Let's check it out. So, right, they're all losing money against the US dollar because we put $1,000 in and they're all worth, mid 800s. But look at what's winning. ADA is outperforming Ethereum and Bitcoin, exactly like I've been saying. And what is new right now? Ethereum has moved into second place, outperforming Bitcoin. Exactly like I've been saying for weeks on this channel. And it's not even the end of the year. I didn't say it would happen by July 15th. I said by the end of the year. And it's happening exactly as I predicted it would. And this is the data to back up my hypothesis. Maybe I'll be proven wrong. This is not financial advice, but it's working out perfectly so far. And why am I even more confident that'll play out, right? I think that's just the start. By the end of the year, Ethereum is going to be so far ahead of Bitcoin, and Ethereum is going to be so far ahead of Bitcoin that these numbers are going to look like child's play by the end of the year. And why do I think that? Well, let's talk about how many people know about pets.com. I'm old enough to know about pets.com. Pets.com was a pet store, a .com company selling pet supplies over the internet in the late 90s, like 98, 99, I think they established themselves. And they were, you know what they were? They were a marketing company. Every product they sold, they lost money on because they were selling their product at a discount to what they bought their products at. And they were doing that to get customers, right? You establish a customer base and the idea is, and then you can increase your prices. Well, they never got that far because 2 years later they were out of business. And they had this sock puppet, excuse me, this sock puppet that was famous. That was their mascot. And they had a Super Bowl ad. They were a marketing gimmick. They had no there behind the curtain. There was nothing there. And when the .com bubble burst and people realized that their numbers were horrid, they were out of business in like 2-3 years after they started. They were a marketing gimmick. They were a story, and that's all they were. So I advance this question to you. Is Bitcoin pets.com? Is Bitcoin a marketing gimmick? Is Bitcoin a story with nothing behind the curtain? What utility does Bitcoin have? Now compare that to Cardano and Ethereum. What utility is advanced by Cardano and Ethereum? I talked about several on this channel. There is no utility in Bitcoin. The story of the Bitcoin maxis, their use cases for Bitcoin changes annually. For the last year, it's been it's an inflation hedge. Well, inflation's at a 40-year high. Not working out so well right now. It's lost, 70% of its value versus the US dollar in the last 9 months. Not much of an inflation hedge. I mean, if it's an inflation hedge, when last month inflation was higher than it has been in 40 years, you want to retain value, you shouldn't be in the US dollar, right? Or that's the idea. You don't want to be in US dollars, so you got to put it somewhere else. And Bitcoin maxis have been telling you, well, it's Bitcoin. Well, if you had put it into Bitcoin, you've gotten killed against the US dollar. Not much of an inflation hedge. So where are you putting your money? Really, there's no better place right now to put it than the US dollar, frankly, at least for the last 9 months. I mean, despite the fact that inflation is out of control. So their narrative, that's all they have is a narrative. They have no use case. And their use cases, when you look behind the curtain, are not playing out. So you want to put your money, right, into the utility, the use cases. And that's Cardano and Ethereum. And maybe we'll talk about some of those use cases at the end of the video. But people always talk about the flippening, whether Ethereum will catch Bitcoin. Let's look at the market caps of each of these. So let's go to coin market cap here. So Ethereum, first of all, Bitcoin's at $400 billion market cap, right? That 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth column. And Ethereum's at $152 billion market cap. So that, it's over a 2x, 2.5x maybe away from, or 3x away from a Bitcoin, or not a 3x, but 2.5x maybe from Bitcoin. But look at Cardano. Look at Cardano, 15 billion. That's 1/10 the market cap of Ethereum. 1/10. There's no way Cardano should be 1/10 the market cap of Ethereum at this point. In fact, Ethereum is doing a lot of things to try to catch Cardano. The one criticism of Cardano over the past few years is that it's slow to market, right? It's because of the scientific approach Cardano takes. They test everything to death, test it ad nauseum before they launch something, before they launch their hard forks. They excuse me, they test it ad nauseum, like I said. But it works, right? When they launch something, it works. Cardano doesn't have the Solana problem where it goes down every month, it seems. When they launch something, it works. And in the last, couple years, now you can put NFTs, stable coins, DeFi, dApps, you name it on Cardano, where you couldn't do it, a couple years ago. And now they're increasing their scalability with the Vassal hard fork. And then you look at Ethereum, and they're trying to catch Cardano, which the complaint is that they're slow to market. How is Ethereum trying to catch Cardano? They're trying to move to proof of stake. Cardano's already there. It's working beautifully. Ethereum is trying to move from proof of work to proof of stake because it's better, right? It's better. Bitcoin maxis won't tell you that. But Ethereum recognizes it, and they're trying to catch Cardano. How about the number of ADA is limited? There's a max supply of ADA. There's no such max supply in Ethereum. Ethereum's trying to be more deflationary. They're trying to catch Cardano in that respect. Gas fees on Ethereum are out of control at certain points, right? Out of control. It makes the whole protocol unusable at certain times because the fees are so incredibly high. That doesn't happen on Cardano. So Ethereum is trying to catch Cardano in many respects. So let's just say Cardano does catch Ethereum, which I think it will at some point. That's a 10x from here. That's if Cardano's now at 46 cents, that's $4.60 price from here, just to catch Ethereum. And that doesn't even count if Ethereum 2x's from here, its market cap, because we're in a bear market, so Ethereum could easily 2x, 3x from here, more. So if Cardano is going to catch Ethereum, imagine, it'd have to go up 20x, 30x, 40x to catch Ethereum in a bull market. There's no better place. Cardano is going to outperform Ethereum and Bitcoin. I'm more certain of that than ever. So, right? And why am I certain of that? More certain than ever? It's because of the use cases. It's because there's nothing behind the curtain for Bitcoin. It's because alt season's starting. And we've been talking about alt season on this channel for a few weeks now. And when you want to recognize alt season, before anybody else does, before your favorite crypto influencer on YouTube or Twitter says, hey, maybe alt season's here. Before any of them recognize it, that's when you want to position yourself for life-changing gains. And we've been talking about it on this channel for weeks. And we're proving it. Again, we're collecting the data. We're showing charts on this channel weekly when they're at the perfect moment, when they're turning bullish versus Bitcoin at the exact moment. And we've identified several on this channel at the exact moment that you want to get in those alts. So if you appreciate that, give me a like, give me a subscribe. And so let's start looking at a few of those. Right? Let's look at well, here's the Bitcoin chart. We're not going to spend any time on Bitcoin today because, frankly, I'm sick of the maxis on Twitter, and they're losing out. They're getting nervous. They're going to hate this channel when all is said and done here. So let's start with ADA versus Bitcoin, right? And we will look at the weekly chart. So these are not short-term trades. Again, look at this descending wedge. It's beautiful. And I told you at the exact moment, way back here, before this giant green candle, when one ADA was worth 0.000019 Bitcoin, I said, hey, I'm moving from Bitcoin into ADA. And then we had a giant green candle. And we've given some back since then, but we're still at 0.000021 Bitcoin. That's like a 10% gain versus Bitcoin. A 10% gain versus Bitcoin. I told you at the exact opportune moment to get into ADA. And you if your goal is to stack sats, right? There's no better time to do it than when I brought it to this channel. And that's without trading on leverage, right? We're not risking our entire portfolio by trading on leverage and risking liquidation. No. We're stacking sats without trading on leverage. We're not it's not even putting new money in, even though you should be dollar cost averaging in at this point, I think, in my opinion. But it's not even putting new money in. It's just moving from Bitcoin into ADA at the exact moment that the charts tell us we should. And it's playing out perfectly. So that's one bullish chart, one data point that tells us alt season's coming. Nobody else is talking about this right now, but alt season's coming. Let's look at a second data point. Ethereum versus Bitcoin. Again, we're going to look at the weekly chart. And again, when did I tell you about this chart? I told you right here. At the exact moment that we were testing this red support line that goes back 2 years practically. I said, hey, we're not going to break the support line. And yeah, we've wicked below it, but we've maintained it. I told you at this point, when one Ethereum was 0.052 Bitcoin. And what are we at now? We're at 0.06 essentially Bitcoin. That's like a, 15, 16, 17% gain? At the exact moment I told you it was bullish, it turned bullish. That's 2 for 2 on our data points that are screaming bullish versus Bitcoin. Alt season's coming. It's just starting, and nobody else is recognizing it. Perfect opportunity. It's a perfect opportunity. So that's 2 data points. Let's look at a third. Now, I didn't get into this one, and I'm regretting it. Matic, Polygon versus Bitcoin again. And again, we're looking at the weekly chart. Look, I told you the week it broke out, hey, you might want to keep an eye on this one. And I said, wait for this week to close. I said, if this upper red line, which was resistance, and this descending channel serves, if the candle wicks down and takes that red line that was resistance and turns it into support, you might want to get into Matic. Well, I didn't, but it did. Look at that. Look at that wick right down to that red line, a little bit below it, but it closed above it. It bounced off of it. And we've had 2 giant green candles since then. So what does that mean? That's 3 data points. 3 data points telling us alt season is coming. 3 for 3. Okay, the one I did get into hasn't played out quite as perfectly, right? I did get into, I was between Matic and Polkadot, right? And I went into Polkadot instead, and that hasn't played out, but this trade is only a couple weeks old, and it's not even 2 weeks old, and it's a small position for me. But again, this chart looks like the ADA chart. It's descending wedge. I told you the week, right? It broke out. I said, keep an eye on this week, see if that former resistance turns into support. And what happened? We wicked down to that support line perfectly, bounced off of it. And I got in, right? And I got in at when one dot was 0.00035, and now we're at 0.00033 essentially. So again, I'm losing on that trade. So hopefully you guys, when I brought Matic and Dot to the channel, you decided on Matic and you're smarter than me. But I'm still not worried about that Dot chart because it's still bullish versus Bitcoin. We're maintaining that red line as support. Look at it, we wicked down to it again this week and we bounced off of it. It's still acting as support. So in my opinion, that's 4 for 4 charts, 4 for 4 data points that are telling us alt season's coming. And then the one I just brought this week, because it was the perfect opportunity to bring it to the channel. Not 3 weeks ago, not 3 weeks from now. It's the perfect opportunity right now, I think. And actually, I was going to wait till the weekly close to get in. And I wish I hadn't. But it's beautiful against Bitcoin again. So Aave versus Bitcoin, the weekly chart. Look, I told you last week, it broke out. And I said this week, keep an eye on this red line that was resistance. See if it holds as support this week. Well, what happened? Look at that. It wicked down to that red line perfectly. Bounced off. And now we're getting a giant green candle. Now, I was going to wait till the end of this week to get into Aave. And I still am. I'm going to see how the week ends on Sunday. But I brought it to you at the exact moment it was turning bullish. And it's played out. That's 5 for 5 data points of telling us alt season is here. Alt season is coming. And it's early. And nobody's recognizing it yet. That's the perfect opportunity. So again, none of this is financial advice. You need to make your own financial decisions based on your own financial situation. But that's what I'm doing. I'm piling into alts. And I'm dollar cost averaging into mostly ADA, but maybe I'll start dollar cost averaging into Aave and some of these other ones. So if you appreciate that, give me a like, give me a subscribe, because we will talk about those and more. I have more that I'm going to bring to the channel in days and weeks ahead, because there's more that are turning bullish against Bitcoin, and we're just starting. So if you appreciate that, give me a like, give me a subscribe. Now, like I said, the Bitcoin maxis are not going to like this channel, and you know why? I mean, there's nothing behind the curtain for the Bitcoin maxis, and the real utility is on Cardano, and Cardano is going to explode, in my opinion, in the next weeks, months, years. And there's various reasons why. We've talked about the utility of Cardano and Ethereum essentially on this channel. For example, World Mobile. World Mobile is seeking to connect the unconnected. There's billions of people across the world that don't have access to the internet. Well, World Mobile, on the backs of Cardano, you can't do it on Bitcoin. You can do it on Cardano though. They're connecting the unconnected. They're giving those people access to the internet. And what does that mean? All of a sudden they have access to banking products that they didn't before. They could take out a loan. They could take out a microloan, say from you in the United States or Canada or wherever you're watching this from. You could give a microloan to somebody in Africa. And what can they use with that loan? Right? They didn't even have access to banking services before. So now you can provide them a loan. What can they do with that? They can start a company. And instead of having the 50 people in their village as customers, who's their customer now that they have access to the internet? The whole freaking world. Billions of people. It will change lives. Real use cases on Cardano and Ethereum, not on Bitcoin. Or how about establishing safe and secure elections? No more of this nonsense from Trumpers who think that the election was stolen from them despite all evidence to the contrary, right? Building out an election system on Cardano will make it safe, secure, and unquestionably accurate. It can be built on Cardano and Ethereum. Or those people that are unconnected, right? They'd have access to health services that they never had before just by giving them access to the internet. Well, that can happen in the United States too, right? Your healthcare identity can be carried with you from appointment to appointment. So say, for example, you spent 10 years in Minnesota and then you moved to Arizona and you had a doctor up in Minnesota. Well, now you go to Arizona and you need a new doctor, and you go in and you say, oh yeah, all my health records are in Minnesota, and so then you have the Arizona doctor talking to the Arizona doctor, or the Arizona doctor talking to the Minnesota doctor trying to get your health records. Well, you can carry those with you on Cardano. You give them your private key, and you say, this is me, and all of a sudden your health records are there. It makes it more cost efficient, more effective. And that can provide, that would essentially give everybody, allow the United States to provide healthcare services to the entire population where they can do it right now. So the use cases are in Cardano and Ethereum, not Bitcoin. And the Bitcoin maxis are starting to recognize it. So if you appreciate that, give me a like, give me a subscribe, hit that bell notification so you know when I'm making more videos. My name is Mike. We'll talk more tomorrow. Hope you have a great weekend. My name is Mike. I am the Crypto Liberal. Good night.